So Khloe Bibby, obviously was a member of the Indiana Fever for a decent chunk of last season. They signed her to a 7-day. She hooped. They signed her to a full contract. They stopped playing her. Like it was the weird for me. It was really weird because like she was playing at the 4, which is her position, and it was like as soon as, and by the way, she was like while she was on the 7-day. They played the Mercury, and she was sharing minutes with Natasha Howard down the stretch. Like, she was actually doing really well. And then the second she signed to a full contract, she got relegated to end of the bench minutes. It was really, really weird what happened with Khloe Bibby and the Indiana Fever. But we've got to be honest here when it comes to her. The big thing is that she was actually, in fact, injured early enough. Like, she was out of the lineup from the middle of August. I'm just trying to think of the last game. I can't remember the last game I remember Khloe Bibby playing, but she was out of the lineup long before the playoffs. And the problem is while she was out of the lineup way before the playoffs, the Indiana Fever did not announce that Khloe Bibby was out for the season for ages. Like, it took them so long to announce that Khloe Bibby was out for the season. And for me anyway, I think it was a crazy thing because it was obvious there was something wrong with Khloe Bibby. Stephanie White came out in a press conference and said Khloe Bibby's actually, she's not actually injured. So basically she was injured and then she kitted out for a game. She got ready for a game. They said she was healthy. And then she was obviously not healthy. She was obviously not healthy. And this is, again, the Indiana Fever. The way the Indiana Fever organization, the way that they, what they did with Khloe Bibby, or what they did with injuries this season. Like, other than Ari McDonald and and Sydney Colson, who were just obviously out for the season quickly, nothing else made sense. All of these things. So, you've obviously got this, like, she played in in the loss or in the win against Connecticut, she played 7 minutes on the 17th. That was 3 months ago. After that, they had her kitted out for a game. She was traveling. She was constantly traveling. They were talking about her knee swelling and it's not a setback. It's been 3 months and she hasn't played. Khloe Bibby has not played a game of basketball in 3 months from an injury that the Indiana Fever and medical staff initially reported as not an injury. Again, the Indiana Fever medical staff did not ever, by the way, list Caitlin Clark as having an ankle injury. Caitlin Clark's groin was fine. Caitlin Clark's groin was absolutely fine. It was the ankle. That was the reason why she wasn't playing. And, the ankle injury is what stopped her. And she said it was one of the worst sprains she ever had. And the Indiana Fever last year came out and said that they don't think that the ankle injury was a setback or it affected her return to play timeline. And the reality was, the ankle injury was why she didn't play. The ankle injury was the return to play. It was returning to play from an ankle injury, not returning to play from a groin injury. Like, it was really weird. For me, I just found this whole thing really, really weird. And I just find everything with this organization to be really weird. But it's now to the stage where Khloe Bibby had a serious knee injury. Like, she has had a serious knee injury. And the Fever organization said it was nothing. They came out and said it was nothing. They tried to get her to play. It's been 3 months and she hasn't played. It's been 3 months. The likelihood that she's out for 4 months is crazy. And that is a serious injury. That's a serious injury. So she picked up a serious injury and the Indiana Fever medical staff said she was fine. They said she was fine. For me, that's horrendous. That is absolutely horrendous. Of all the things the Indiana Fever have done, you're now in a situation where most of these players, like, they tried to get her to play through a serious knee injury. Like, I actually cannot believe it. I genuinely cannot believe it. I think that it's something that I'm like, we're now at the stage that anything that Indiana Fever medical staff did, like, obviously part of it is not their fault. Like, again, players rolling their ankles is not their fault. And in fairness, they're trying to fix it by, bringing in new people for these jobs. But at the end of the day, like, if you're going to be understating injuries, I don't know how much grace we could have given them. And I remember everything last year. I remember talking about this, and I remember doing all these different things, and everyone being like, "Oh, you're not a doctor. How do you know?" And I'm like, I'm not a doctor, but I know knees, ankles, anything randomly swelling, there's something wrong. I mean this. Like, there is something wrong when that's happening. But when it comes to the Indiana Fever, it was just, organization can do no wrong. Like, organizations do dumb shit. Like, it doesn't take a degree. It doesn't take being a doctor to know if someone's knee is constantly swelling up, something's wrong. Something's wrong. And I called this 12 months or 14 months ago. When Joel Embiid was talking about his knee swelling at the Olympics, I literally said to the Sixers, and I'm like, that is what, as a Heat fan, I remember vividly knee swelling as a consistent knee swelling as something that ruined Greg Oden's career. And I'm like, trade Embiid right now, otherwise you'll never be able to trade him. And they're never going to be able to trade Joel Embiid right now. And obviously, Khloe Bibby's not 7 foot tall and 275 pounds. Like, her knee's not going to just swell constantly when she plays. We don't know what it is, but if someone's knee is constantly swelling up, swelling is your body's reaction to something not being right. And you know something's wrong with knee swelling up. It's very rarely just travel and nothing else, especially when it doesn't heal up right away. So we're looking at this really, really weird situation all around for Khloe Bibby, where I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, do I think she's going to make a WNBA roster next year? Yes, I do. I think she's absolutely cemented her spot in the league. Do I think that's going to be the Indiana Fever? No. But at the same time, it's just kind of crazy. It is just kind of crazy. So anyway, yeah, that is the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think that this was just, bad luck? Or do you guys think, like me, that the Indiana Fever front or medical team just did a horrible job all around last season? So anyway, see you guys.